Okay, guys, let's roll. I love Charlie Brown. There's Lucy, Sally, Snoopy, Schroeder. Love his piano playing. Peppermint Patty. I can't see Pigpen. Okay, get on with it, Paul. Okay, guys, this video might be a little bit longer than usual, but it's an important one. At the end of this video, I'm going to ask you a question. And I'd like you to answer in the comments and answer truthfully. I need to know what kind of people you are. Okay? Do you want to get a cup of coffee now first? I've got mine ready. Okay then. I guess you paused. You went and made your cup of coffee and now you're back. Here we go then. We're back over to the home of the green arrow. Who would have ever thought that this old blog site would be so useful 17 years later? Right, I want to talk to you about a book I read way back in time called The Camp of the Saints. Some of you might have heard of it. It's a very, very famous book. And, well, let me read the article and you'll see what it's about. The Camp of the Saints. Starts off, there's an image of migrants on their way into Italy. These people are on their way. Do you have the courage to stop them? Again, trolling the foreign news, I am pointed again in the direction of the novel Camp of the Saints by the arrival of more sea-borne invaders of the West. They were coming even then, guys, and we were trying to warn your parents about it. In Italy, just over the last few days, hundreds of illegal immigrants have been storming ashore from invasion craft on one-way journeys to the West and eventually our country. Most of the illegal immigrants are Somalis, Tunisians, Nigerians, Moroccans, Ghanaians, Palestinians and Algerians, and mostly followers of the cult of the dead paedophile. The following is part of the summary from Camp of the Saints, and I urge you to read this novel. This is the state of mind with which the West confronts its final crisis. Nearly 1 million starving, disease-ridden boat people, men, women and children, set sail from the Ganges Delta for Europe. Practically no one is willing to say that this flotilla must be stopped at all costs. Instead, liberals and Christians spout confident nonsense about welcoming their Hindu brothers into the wealth and comfort of Europe. In the novel, they're just talking about 1 million. We've already had 4 million land on our shores. Failure of churches to assist white flock. The thought of this wretched brown mass sailing for Europe is a source of great joy for the World Council of Churches. Its men are shock troop pastors, righteous in their loathing of anything and everything that smacked of present-day Western society, and Woodford Green Essexes in their love of whoever might destroy it. They are determined to welcome the 1 million Christs on board those ships who would rise up reborn and signal the dawn of a new day. One of the few Europeans who recognizes that what has come to be called the last chance armada spells the doom of Christendom, reproaches a group of anti-Western churchmen. There's not one of you proud of his skin and all that it stands for. Not proud or aware of it either, replies one. That's the price we have to pay for the brotherhood of man. We're happy to pay for it. They're talking about the end of the white race, which is coming very close. Europe is rife with fifth column propagandists, products of earlier capitulations. Typical of these is Clement Dio, a citizen of France, North African by blood, who, possessed a belligerent intellect that thrived on springs of racial hatred barely below the surface and far more intense than anyone imagined. Europe's fifth column. Knowing full well that acceptance of the first wave of third world refugees will only prompt imitators that will eventually swamp the White West, he writes happily about how the civilization of the Ganges will enrich a culturally bankrupt continent. Considering all the wonders that the Ganges had bestowed on us already, sacred music, theatre, dance, yoga, mysticism, arts and craft, jewellery, new style in dress, the burning question was how could we manage to do without these folks any longer? Ask Piers Morgan. He's got his curry. We got the recipe though, haven't we? As the flotilla makes for Europe, school teachers set assignments for their students. This is what they do in our schools now. Describe the life of the poor suffering souls on board the ships and express your feelings towards their plight in detail by imagining, for example, that one of the desperate families come to your home and asks you to take them in. Well, I tell you this, if push ever comes to shove, then I want a government with balls bigger than the London Eye and nerves of steel to match, and to my mind, there is only one political party that says what it means, and you just know it, means what it says. The British National Party, never afraid to face the unpleasant truth, proud to be BNP. Okay guys, now if you get a chance, you really should read that book, shouldn't you? Camp of the Saints. Spoiler, it doesn't end well for the white race. Just going to pause this. So you can see, guys, I wrote that article in 2008. 2008. It's 30 odd years after I started campaigning as a young man, warning about what was coming. We were telling you then, in 2008, what was coming. The immigrants were landing then, way back then. I don't think anybody believed us, did they? Anyhow, let's move on. I want you to look at this now. Some of you might have seen it. Some of you might find this upsetting. We'll talk about it at the end.
Watch as a boatload of migrants are allegedly rammed by the Greek Coast Guard on their way to Europe from Turkey. In the video, a woman can be heard shouting, "Please help," in English, before the ship collides with their boat. The video appears to show a Greek vessel bearing the marking LS602 approaching the migrant boat. It then makes contact twice. First a broadside impact, then a more direct hit from the bow. Greek Cypriot media Marini reports the incident occurred by the island of Samos, and the dinghy was forced to return to Turkey. The move comes as Greece hardens its stance on migration, after an estimated 1.28 million migrants arrived in the country since 2014. The Greek Coast Guard has not commented on the video, but human rights groups have fiercely condemned the scenes shown in this video that surfaced last week, though is believed to have been shot last summer. Aegean Boat Reports, who monitors migrant crossings, accused the Greek authorities of, quote, consistently going to extreme lengths to prevent boats reaching their islands. The group say they've documented thousands of pushbacks. I reported earlier this year the government there declared an end to what they called the, quote, invasion of Europe, and began locking up migrants, declaring it will no longer process any asylum applications for North Africans. The immigration minister said at the time, "What is happening?"
Okay. I'm just going to Just a second. Well, what do you think, guys? You heard me read or tell you about the camp of the saints and what happens at the end. And then you see the Greek Coast Guard ramming a dinghy on its way over from Turkey, full of people set on coming to our country. A question, were the Greek Coast Guard right or were they wrong? If they had sunk their boat and those people had drowned, how would you feel? Answering the questions. I tell you, I care about human beings. But in the grand scheme of things, I care more about my people before I care about the people in that boat. I would not hesitate to sink any boat heading full of people heading towards my country that threatens the future of my great granddaughter. Anyhow, answer in the comments whether you would be prepared to sink that boat or would you let them through and threaten your children's future. Okay, guys, before we go, let's have a look at our channel, shall we? How are we doing? 977 subscribers. Most of them came from, I think, the articles about, I refer to videos as articles, that's the old writer in me, in it. Most of them, 978, we'll soon be on 1,000, guys, so we're doing rather well. Why you should not go to the office party, that was a funny one. Enoch Burke, Patriot, jailed. President Trump, yeah, that's a good one. You should really listen to that one. President Trump having to go with the Somalis. Yeah, go onto the channel and look at it, please. And former Gordon Brown, well, yeah, you need a strong stomach to watch that one. Okay then, guys. Oh, look, we've got a new achievement. Yeah, new achievement. 30,000 views. Oh, wow. People are loving your videos. Oh, that was 1,000. Oh, wow. It looks like I'm going to be a content creator. Rather be a writer. Okay, guys, you've been listening to Paul Morris, The Green Arrow. I think I'll see if I can knock out another video. Yeah. Okay, thanks, guys. See you in a bit. Bye. Answer in the comments. Would you sink the boat or let it through?